Hi everybody. Today I've been playing around with using different papers to print on. So I've just taken this sheet of music paper and torn it out of the book, and it's larger than my printer paper. So I cut it down to fit my printer paper just on the trimmer and put it through my printer, and I've printed these butterfly papers, 2 pages per sheet, and I just absolutely love it. And I've printed it both sides so that I can cut those down, and that can be something that I can use in my journal making. And so I'm keeping that as a master for the moment, although it's easy enough to do it again. And I've printed it onto some 200 GSM cardstock today, and I want to make a pull-out flip journaling spot. So I'm just going to wing it. I haven't made a sample one up, so hopefully this will work out. So what I'm going to do is just trim this image down. I'm just going to use this top image. So I'm just going to trim it to the dimensions that it's already at. I'm going to take that white part off the top and off this side here, and I'm just leaving that white border on the right hand side, because I'm actually going to fold that under just to make the edge a little bit sturdier. So I'm just going to score that white edge and fold that under, and just glue that down. I just need that edge to be a bit stronger. Okay, so that's my edge where the card's going to flip out from. So now, width-wise, I want to cut this card down to about 5 1/4, just so that it will fit on a journal page. And what I want to do with this, so if I do have a full-size journal page, I want this to be able to fit onto it, and I'm going to score around these 3 sides, so 1/2 inch down there, and then turn it, and I want 3/8 of an inch along the bottom and 3/8 of an inch along the top. And crease all of those. Trim those corners off just at a slight angle. So that will eventually be the cover and give me enough room to have a little tab on this end. So now I need an inside card that's going to pop out, and I want that to be 9 1/2 inches long and about 4 1/4 inches wide. So not quite long enough, so 9 1/2 inches long. And 4 1/4 wide. And this one, I want to score it, so I want it to be the same width as this. So I want to score it so that it fits inside that. So I'll score that at 4 3/4 and fold that. Okay, so that should fit inside there. It's just a smidgen long, so I'm just going to trim that. Okay, so that's my inside card, and now I want a little strip that's 3 inches long by 2 inches wide. Okay. And with this piece I want to put the 3 inches along the top of the board, and I'm going to score it 3/8 of an inch. 1, 2, 3/8 of an inch. And then I want to score every 1/8 of an inch, leaving 3/8 at the end. Okay, so I've got 3/8 at this end, 3/8 at that end, and it's scored at every 1/8 of an inch. And then I'm just going to fold each of those score lines under and just try and keep the side seam straight, so it's straight along the top and the bottom, and just fold each one of these. And this is going to be the mechanism that will slide the inside card out. So just each time I fold it, I'm making sure that it's level top and bottom. And this paper, so that you get a reasonable, is this 210 GSM cardstock. You do need it to be something reasonably sturdy. Okay, so with that, you'll see now that this curves and rolls beautifully, which is what we want for that mechanism. Okay, so now on this card that's going to be on the inside, I want to cut some paper that's going to fit inside that. So I'm just going to cut a couple of sheets of paper, and I want them to just be a little bit smaller than that. So I'll have it 9 by 4 1/8. I'm just going to fold those in half. Let's see if that fits inside. It does. And so to attach those, there's a whole lot of different ways. I'm just going to use my stapler, and I've got this bit of old foam packaging because I don't have a stapler long enough to get to the middle, so I'm just going to center that there and flip that over, and then open my stapler out, and I'm wanting to line up where the stapler comes out, so I can see that line there. I'm just lining that up with, I can just see that there. I'm lining that up with the hinge, sorry, with the seam, and just push that down. And then lift those up and just fold those little ends down. You could sew these in, or just put a tiny few dots of glue down the middle of them. need to decorate, if we want to, the front of that piece of paper. So I'm just going to go through my butterfly papers and see if I've got some scrap cut that will work. Perfect. So that is 4.5. So if I cut that, the height's about right. If I cut that at 4.25. And glue that on. So now we bring in this piece. So what we want to do is just find our little bits at the end, and I'm just going to put glue onto the end of this tab. And I want to fix this on so that the end of this is lining up with the end of that folding side of the booklet. Just crease that down. And just grab a baby wipe. Okay, and then fold that back on the seam and just make sure that's really adhered really well. Okay, then with this card now, I want to slide that in, and I want to leave a little bit of room top and bottom of where these side flaps are, and I want to align the front of the card with the very edge. So I want that to be centered top and bottom and aligned with the edges, and I'm just going to pop a couple of paper clips on that just to hold that exactly in the right spot. Okay, now just flipping that out of the way, I've just got the end of this hinge here, and I'm going to glue that. Making sure I get the glue right up to the hinge, because I want that to stick and stay, and just get any excess off. Then lay this down flat and fold that top cover over and just adhere that down. And just let all that dry. That's ready now to glue onto a journal page. So let me just grab something. So this is a piece of probably about, feels like about 220. I'm just going to fold that in half. And then this is ready to attach to that. So you could either use score tape, which I think I might. Always fold the side in first and then glue the top down so that the card, when it pulls out, doesn't catch on that little lip there. Okay, so I want the sides to come in first and then the bottom to come on top of that. The last thing I need now is a tab, so I can just cut a tab out of this card. With some of the leftover, I might just cut an extra tab just to make sure that that's really sturdy, and just glue those on the top. So now I want this tab to go onto the back part in the center. So ideally leave that all to dry, and then you should be able to pull that tab out. The card will flip and you've got those extra journaling spots in there. So you've got a few pages in there. Just get that staple to sit down better. Okay, so pull it out and you've got your four pages of hidden journaling there. So the last piece I'm going to add to this is a little piece that's going to tuck in underneath the pull-out card and cover these two little the fold under bits, because it's catching when I push it back in. So I've just cut a piece that's just slightly less, so at 4.5 by about 1.5, and I'm going to tuck that in and glue that down. So I'll use double-sided tape. And I'm just going to lift that out of the way and slide that on top of those two tabs. And just get that lined up. And then pull that tape out. So let's see now. So pull that out and slide that back in easily. So that solved that problem. So there you are. And I'll call that just a pull out flip, secret journaling. I hope you enjoyed that, and have a go at making one.